Yo, Flexcast, we are back with our next guest, man. And y'all know we talk to movers, shakers, and tastemakers. This brother here with us fits that at every description. I'm glad he was able to come by. Please introduce yourself and tell the people what you do, man.
I'm the Teeta, hip hop artist, born and raised Austin, Texas.
Hey, everybody clap it up for Teeta, man. We appreciate you coming through. And I always remember, I have homies that come through here like yourself who, I've got to watch their progression.
Right.
You've always been a forward thinker. I remember seeing that turquoise all over this motherfucking shit. I remember them days. I remember it just turquoise everywhere when we pull up to the Teeta show or to something that Next has going on.
For sure.
I want you to talk about like those days and kind of the inception of your whole idea and kind of how it propelled you to what you're doing today, man.
Okay. For me it was just life. Like I go all in on everything I do. And just kind of like live through it, and put my whole life into it. So it was just natural, if I have an idea or, the guys around me have an idea, we just overdo it.
Absolutely.
And like back then we was overdoing everything.
Everything, man. Talk. So like, of course there's a moment where because you used to go by TA. And there's a moment where TA is like, okay, call me TA, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Talk about that moment where you're like, okay, like I could get out here, I could do this, I'm gonna take this seriously. Maybe talk about what age you were, what life was like.
Okay. I got down on Team Next when I was 13, so
very young.
I'm very family oriented, and so it wasn't like a trying to stand out type of thing. So I didn't mind just going by my initials TA. And I wasn't doing music solo or by myself or like anything like that. I say around like maybe like 22 years old. Probably, so what's that like? That's already 10, 11 years. So by that time, I just, we were all, growing up, coming of age and everything at that time and, wanting to express our own ideas and things. And so I always would kind of do like solo songs and mixtapes here and there,
Just kind of please the streets.
You know what I mean? Just to try to see, what it was. And I don't know, like when I really wanted to really fully invest into it, I knew that it needed to be searchable. It needed to be interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
I looked at like the demographics of like, where we at, and I was like, I needed to be adjacent with like band names.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that is a great read of our market.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I kind of just...
That is a great read of our market,
expanded on it. Like my initials are TA, but like my whole initials are TTA. My bro Youngin and the girl I was seeing at the time would call me Teeta sometime.
Okay.
So I just kind of made it into a word, and then I made it into like a moniker with the Teeta.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's unique.
And from there, it just, it caught on. I was like, it sounds silly, but it caught on,
It's unique. I think
it's a one of one.
You need uniqueness to
exactly. I was like, I don't know nobody else named Teeta.
No, bro, when you search it comes directly up.
Yeah, so
that's valid.
That was the idea behind that.
Love it.
Awesome. What would you say has been the biggest accomplishment or even one of the highest moments in your career?
For me, like everything goes in like waves and eras. You know what I mean? I'll say within like the past like 5 years, it's probably throwing my own art show.
Okay.
Doing ACL, like all those things like during and like coming out of the pandemic.
I love that.
We're not going to brush over that.
I did a lot of things.
Talk about the ACL experience, man. What is that like for a local artist to stand on that stage?
It's big because like, we go, like I've been doing this my whole life and like not really getting recognition in those arenas. And, to be called to do it and like when I talked to Mitch, whenever he asked me to do it, I was telling him like respectfully, like I seen like local artists get on there and they put them on like at the top of the morning, and there's no crowd. And so I was like,
you a real one.
I was like, I respect if we're gonna do it like that, I respectfully had to decline. And Mitch was like, no, like we not doing you a favor, like we really want you up there, like you work hard, like you make great music. And, it was on from there. They put me on, like, right before, like, Megan Thee Stallion.
I was just about to ask, who'd you go on before? So it was lit. It was crazy.
So it was definitely
lit. It was lit. And so, I worked out, like, 6 months straight, like, getting my cardio right and everything, because I knew it was going to be hot. I was going to be up there for an hour. I got up there, turned it up, changed outfits midway, all kind of things. The crowd,
you was showing
The crowd was into it the whole time, and it was legendary.
That's awesome,
man. You serve as proof that it's possible, because there's a lot of artists that wonder, is that possible?
That
like we go to ACL our whole lives because it's it's a lit festival in the city, and there's a percentage of the attendees that are artists, and every year we're wondering, like, do they fuck with us? And so when I see you, when I see Lonnie, when I see Soul, there's been a couple of artists.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I'm like, yo, they're proof that if you grind right, get your emotion together, you can really accomplish things like that. That's a huge stage.
No, definitely.
Congratulations.
That was always my whole idea. Like I was never like in it to be like super famous or like nothing like that. It was just more so to show people that you can do it.
Yeah, hometown hero shit, man. I love it. You mentioned I'm looking over our pre-production notes, you mentioned you're working on something called 7 Seal 2. As much as you can, I want you to tell our audience about when they can expect it and what they can expect.
I mean, we shooting for March. I don't know. We
that's a perfect time.
Yeah, we crafting it out. Like the music is done, but we just fine tweaking it and everything right now. Yeah, like I mean, what they can expect. I mean, crazy flows. It's me and Willow, my partner, my brother.
Okay.
From Dallas.
Okay.
And yeah, like it's they'll see a lot of growth and maturity in it as well. And a lot of introspection. So it's totally different from the last project I dropped, but I'll never do the same thing twice.
Let me ask you, why did you feel 7 Seals was important enough to have a sequel? Because sometimes artists just have an idea and they're done with it. Why did you feel it's like, nah, let me revisit this? Because when this comes out, people are gonna look for the first one.
Right.
And so why did you think that was important?
Because the first one was it just kind of came natural. Like I mean, I get into a little bit of the backstory of
Please.
Willow had hit me. I had probably known him about 2 years by then, and like when we first met, like we instantly clicked. And he's just somebody like I'm like he cold, you know what I mean, and we just relate. And he was like, man, shoot, I'm thinking about going ahead and hanging it up. I was like, well, before you do,
let me throw this one last
with
one.
me. You know what I'm saying?
That's smart.
And, kind of.
He didn't tell him, no, don't do it. Reconsider.
Yeah, I was like,
he said, before you. Okay.
Put your last good all.
Yeah, I know how it is. You know what I mean? Like
sometimes
you gotta,
those thoughts.
it's
Everybody has
like,
those thoughts.
So I'm like, before you do that, we got to do something real quick just to leave a stamp. You know what I mean? And he always credited me with like that kind of reviving his, his love for it or whatever.
Iron sharpened
and
iron.
like we it was natural. Like I'm talking about, we doing these verses. Like me and him, that's how we work. It's kind of like a conversation. Like it's not like we get in there trying to like who could write the hardest verse.
No, it's not a competition.
Like it's coming out hard.
Synergy.
It's gonna come out hard. You know what I mean? Pause. But it's gonna go. You know what I mean? Gotcha. So like I don't know. It was just natural to do it again. You know what I mean? Like he came down here a few times. I was in and out the studio going through whatever I was going through, and we just chose to capture the moment.
And I feel like you're also a good like ambassador for Austin, man. You have a good rhetoric about what to do and what not to do around here.
Yeah.
We come from the thread era where artists really used to talk to each other in threads. You know what I mean? And we would talk about what's up and what's down. And I always respected your perspective. You have a fresh, unique approach to hip hop, man. And it's refreshing to watch. It's refreshing to watch it grow. It's refreshing to watch it be consistent. Because like you said, a lot of our homies, they'll tell you straight up. They're like, man, I'm about to hang it up.
Yeah, it be like that though, man. Sometimes you outgrow stuff or, you lose your passion for it. And like where I'm at right now, I want to do it like for fun again. Like I want to just like enjoy doing it. You know what I mean? Like, and not really. I mean, that's how I came out too though. Like as the Teeta, like not really thinking too hard or like thinking too much into it. Just kind of, doing it and enjoying it and becoming a fan of myself and what I'm doing, like, because I'm a fan of hip hop, you know what I mean? So I kind of just am like trying to settle back into that space, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Real quick, tell the people again your social media handle or a website if you have one. I feel like I remember seeing a website.
Oh, for sure.
Please let the people know where they can find you.
I got a website.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can go to www.theteeta.com, TheEeta.com, and then you can find everything else from there.
Absolutely. Is there anything you can talk about for South by, or is everything still kind of ink drying? Or
I don't know. I mean, I can talk about it.
Okay.
I guess. Like,
let's promote it. If you got like a show or if you got an event or something like that you want to promote, let's talk about it.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be doing the Very Necessary Showcase. I believe it's March 12th.
Okay.
Shout out my boy Stilo Foreign.
Hey.
I think. I mean, I ain't gonna put nobody else on. It's a couple dope artists, on there. So yeah.
Stilo know all the dope people.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna let them. I I'm like, wait, let me catch myself.
It's still early, man. It's still
early.
early. We still got what's today the 10th? We still got about a month and a half, a couple days.
South by is a holiday for us.
It's coming. It's coming.
I've been going out there since I was like 16, 17 years old.
Yeah. Bro, one of the things that I'm going to say real quick before we end, I'm also noticing, like, now that I've kind of slipped into the media side, it's just
Oh yeah.
Like it's crazy as an artist, as a participant, as a volunteer. I volunteered. I've been an artist.
Yeah.
But now I'm on the media side, and it's like, bro, it's even crazier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So many different avenues to get in, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, everybody, clap it up for Teeta, man. We appreciate you coming through.
Clapping for myself, talking about
all the time. Hey, Flexcast, don't go nowhere. We'll be right back with our next guest. Yo.